Well, hello everyone, and good evening. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Lisa. I see that you've fallen trap to the old time zone change. Oh dear. Hope you're all doing great out there. Okay, so before we start, let me just drop in the community showcase link in case you're all working on something and you want to show it off. Boom, okay. And yeah, hope you're all doing great today. The training day this morning, so 8 hours of 8 hours of training, so I'm a bit pumped up. And hopefully that will not translate into a lot of shake when it comes to handling the miniatures and paintbrushes. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, speaking of miniatures, we're still going to be working on these dwarves, which I've been messing around with for about a year now, on and off. Mostly procrastinating, really, though. And yeah, we're going to be painting some gold ornamentation on them. Let me just bring the painting camera over. Okay, so can get it into proper focus. Yeah, mid dwarf. Yeah, I hope he's happy. Okay, so this is where we were at last time. I've stopped this at a kind of, I would say like a bronze-like kind of finish. And what we'll be doing today is pretty much the same procedure, but we're going to bring it up a bit more to, not this specifically, I mean like other ornaments like his bracelets and these little talismans they've got hanging of them. Pretty much the same thing, but we're going to punch it up a bit so it looks more like gold. Before we do that though, I know that we were talking about on Lisa's stream on Wednesday. I think we mentioned brush maintenance and the importance of that. Now, basically, most of the time I use synthetic brushes. I don't think I have any. No, I do not have any natural fiber brushes, and those are super easy to clean up. Important thing is that you do that every single time you use them. So, finish a painting session, go over to your sink, and flush them out with water. It's as easy as filling your hand with water and just swirling them around until they're soaked through. Put a drop of dish soap and you swirl that, and then you keep pouring water on and rinsing that and swirling it until no more soap comes out. Getting rid of the paint is the first most important thing because if the paint dries in the bristles, then the brush is useless. Next thing is getting rid of the soap because a you don't want the soap to mix with the paint when you use it next, and you don't want the soap to get into the ferrule here because that will damage the glue and that will greatly reduce the lifetime of the brush. Okay, now I've had this brush for okay, I think I bought it in 2017 and I've used it a lot. So you can see that the top of it has really splayed out. That's going to happen with brushes anyway. The longer you use them, they're just going to lose their shape. But the important thing here is that the bristles are still very soft, and that's because I wash it every time. There is some discoloration here. You can see at the bottom of the bristles, and again, the if I remember correctly, that is the actual color that the bristles originally were. And over time and washing, they kind of lost their color. I never thought of soap damaging the brush. Good tip. Yeah, and that's a good pun because yeah, if you leave the soap in there, it will damage the tip. But I was saying, yes. Okay, so basically, I've had this brush since 2017, and it is a super good brush, but I've probably been using it way past its life expectancy. In fact, even the paint on the handle has started to wear off. But it's still a good brush. I can still use this for painting. Can't use it for the same things I used to, but it's still a very good airbrushing brush, for example, because again, it's still very soft. Now, if you have a brush like this with a point, unfortunately, I have not yet found a way to manage the tips on them. So after a while, they will start to either hook or start to fray a bit. I'm sure there are things like brush conditioners and things you can use, but mostly, again, these are synthetic brushes. They're mostly pretty cheap. You can either find other uses for them or just replace them. The one thing that I found that's good to avoid, getting a hooked point though, is not poking with the tip. If you're going to do anything like stippling, like we did in the Kentucky Sobons, for example, try to use a flat top brush anyway. Again, for example, if you go back to this is really good for that kind of thing. Okay, so enough of that, and let's start mixing up the colors for the dwarves. Now, if you accidentally, I know sometimes it happens. I mean, like maybe you're busy or something, and you need to run off in the middle of painting something because emergencies happen. You can still clean off the brush after a few hours, but if you've left it long, like maybe you've forgotten it or something, you can still save it. And this is super weird. I found it on a YouTube video a while ago, but I can't remember which one to be honest. But super useful tip, and I found it to be useful when I had to save a brush. Basically, you get some white vinegar, you put it in a kettle, you boil it, and then you swirl the dirty brush in it. Have to be a bit careful because that's you know hot white vinegar is very hot. But basically, yeah, you put it in white vinegar, put it in cold water again, and that's again mainly that's to protect the glue in the brush. And that should hopefully get to a point where you can do the whole soap and water thing again. But again, bear in mind that this is for synthetics. I would not do this on a sable brush, for example. You've got it to that point, it's probably gone anyway. Okay, so starting off with Mars brown base. Move my light a bit because it's putting shadows in inconvenient places. Better, I guess. Okay, now it's a bit dark, but this model has kind of a little X head here. Sorry, a little block where the X head meets the handle, and it's got these little stripes. Kind of look like I'm going to say feathers, maybe or something like that, or maybe it's a little face with a beard. So we're going to do those up in brown first. See if I can zoom in it. Hey, okay. You see these little bits here. Okay, and what I want to do is just hit the high points only. I want to keep the black in the recesses over there as much as I can. I am finding these painting streams to be very useful to get just sit down and make time to paint these guys. And I hope they're useful for everyone. But in a few weeks, we'll be getting back to our regular interview streams. We've got a few good ones lined up. But I will be keeping these painting streams for special occasions. Mainly like stuff when I have training days, for example, because if I happen to have a very heavy training day, I don't want to be interviewing someone while in zombified state. And weeks when I'm on call at work, so I don't risk having to run off in the middle of the interview. Luckily, that never really happened, but no, actually, I think it did happen once, but it's always on the back of my head when I'm on call. So it's like if I can avoid that, I don't mind putting my stuff down when it's just me painting. But if someone made the time to show up for an interview and stuff, it's kind of annoying for me. It feels kind of rude. Hey, first one done. Now, I think we had also talked about the problem of painting large numbers of miniatures or at least we had mentioned it, I think. And there is there's a whole lot of stuff that you can do to make it easier for yourself. And one of them is what I'm doing here. So basically, this set has one, three different sculpts for the basic dwarfs, and then there are three separate sculpts for the chieftain or whatever he is, one musician, and the standard bearer. So before you start painting, you put them in line. You put the like sculpts together. So for example, right now I'm painting the second one of the sculpts, and that's all the dwarves with this particular detail. And then I'm moving on to the other ones, which are also similar. That lets you remember the kind of the details they have while you're working on them. So you're not switching between different kinds of details all the time. And at the same time, it's going to give you a little, changes of form, so that you're not always going over the same thing. Okay, so now these guys have this bracelet, which I'm going to go over. I'm going to say that it's gold, and for now, I'm just going to go for a beautiful cover. I could leave some black in there for contrast, but make it very shiny. Okay, same sculpt. Now, to be honest, a sensible person would probably have done this before they paint the shirts, because if I get paint on that white, then it's going to be very difficult to get rid of that. Now, in this case, it's kind of intentional because, again, I'm doing this as an exercise in brush control. Do I like to make things harder for myself? Why, yes, I do. Okay, so different sculpt again. Still has a bracelet. It's a slightly different design. So, people of the chat, what are you all working on? Having fun? I have started cutting the templates for my next terrain video, and there's going to be more buildings. Probably going to have a little town going by the end of the year. I'm still covering the clear crystal ornament with glue and paper towel. It's taking a while to do. Okay? I mean, yeah, that thing does take a while to dry, I'm not going to lie. On the other hand, it is a super useful technique. You can build up pretty much anything out of that. Okay, so let's see. This guy has got these little talismans and a bracelet. And I think I'm also going to do the metal pieces on the horn. Of course, I'm going to have to paint the pieces of the horn in between that. But again, why should I make life simple for myself? sensible people do, and I'm not a sensible person. Now, in places, I'm getting more, excuse me, I'm getting more brown in the recesses than I would have wanted to, but I'm hoping that with the contrast, it should come up well enough. We'll see. Okay, and I just want to make sure to cover the flesh tone that's at the top of the bracelet over there. Right, okay, so these parts of the horn are a little bit of a larger area, so I'm going to work a bit differently here. Center part I'm not worried about because I'm just going to be repainting that black later. But then I love those little two bits dark gray instead of painting over them. That should help to sell the shape a bit better. Okay, and here because it's an edge that's on the underside of the thing, I just did the top part. Okay, so again, light is coming down from this direction, and say it's going to go to leaving a little shadow area and get a bit of highlighter. And that's the plan I'm going to follow for this one. So follow where the light is, and just add a little bit in the shadow area. Okay, this one is tiny, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, and I want to make sure that I get the sides of this. Again, since the horn is going to be painted over later, it's not a problem. But really want to make sure that there isn't like any white or anything left over there right now. Oh, and he's got the little spout of the thing on his mouth, which I hadn't noticed. I have to make sure not to paint his beard by accident. And he's got another bracelet that I forgot about. So let's do that now. Very right. Now we've got talismans all over the belt, one on the back here and one on his pouch. Plus another one on the hammer. He's very fancy. They're just one barely showing under his beard. Want to be very carefully putting a line on that. Okay, more bracelets over there. Right, now this guy just has the one talisman and a couple of bracelets. Now it's time to add some yellow into the mix. I'm not going to go with the raw sienna this time. I'm just going to go with mixes of Mars brown and yellow. Okay, make sure that's properly blended. I'm just going to clean the excess brown of the brush. Okay, now since I need more control this time around, I put a lot less water in this one than I did in the brown earlier. And we're just going to be working close to the edges on this one. Okay, the handle does not worry me too much because we're going to repaint it black later. And I'm trying to avoid the recesses as much as possible. By Karl, one of those exact words was the first meal I ever had. It was gifted to me by my father who passed on now, and I wish you could see some of my painted meals now. Hi, the end. sorry for your loss. And yeah, was your father also a gamer or a collector? No, my father isn't into games or measures or stuff, but pretty much anything I learned about paints, I learned from him. To be honest, I think I learned a lot about, let's see, sculpting probably, and stuff. So I don't think I've ever meant to be used on measures and stuff like that, but I think most of the stuff I do, most of the craft and stuff I do, I learn from him, to be honest. It was not, but one time I visited the Games Workshop store and automatically knew I was going to like what they did, and it was absolutely right. Ah, that's lovely. That's just lovely. So, how old were you at the time? I'm not sure if it's me, but it sounds like your sound is roboting a bit. Um, let's see. Mm, might be the filters on the sound. So let's see if I can. Okay, does this sound any better? Let's see if it works. Might just be the internet connection, but just in case I switched off. His voice is doing a thing, maybe clipping too aggressively. Yeah, let's see. More filters. Okay, I've cut down on the filters now. Let's see if that makes a difference. Oh, all right. Uh, I switched off the noise removal, so that should help, hopefully. Luckily, it's quite quiet today, so there are no explosions for Jesus or police cars or dogs or anything. But I might need to switch those back on if that comes up. So I was in my 20s, maybe 25, and then 42. Well, that's a nice long career, man. Nice long career. Speaking of, if you want to show off any miniatures in the community showcase, here's the link. Okay, I think I'll just default to very gently dry brushing these. And I just realized I forgot a bit on the previous one, so let's do that now. Okay, let's go for the bracelet. Now this time, because it's a round shape, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working from a circle over here and working my way down. And put a bit of like a bounce light kind of thing on the bottom. Okay, you'll let me know if there's any weird background noises or stuff. I can hear some traffic right now, but it doesn't seem to be picking up on the mixer here. So hopefully it should be okay. I'm hoping to join an escalation league next week. Currently trying to print an army and paint it in time. Nice. So what kind of army are you putting together? You know, escalation leagues are probably the most sensible way to put an army together, but I don't have the that kind of discipline. I think I mentioned a few times, but if I want to play a game, I will play with bottle caps if that's what I have, or unpainted miniatures or whatever. That's why I ended up with a pile of shame, the size that it is. In fact, once I finish these dwarves, this will be the second fully painted army that I have. The other one is just a Skaven warband for more time, which is like that was very few miniatures, so it was kind of not that much of a problem to paint. have gone too heavy on that one, but still I've got layers of highlights to work through. Just try to do better on the next one. I'm running them as Chaos Warriors, but I think the scalps were meant to Vampire and Dead, and I forget the Warhammer lore. Maybe Vampire counts as that they're. Yeah, Vampire counts are one of the factions in the Old World. Uh, there are different sub-factions then, but I think you might be talking about the either the Blood Dragon Knights. I mean, if they look like Chaos Warriors, they're probably the Blood Dragon Knights. You know, one of the things that was like, I understand that they did it for reasons of marketing, but I really, really, really much prefer the Undead Army list from the older editions, even the Chaos Army list. Like way back, there was just kind of one Chaos Army list. So you had Chaos Warriors and Beastmen and Demons. Then their Vampire Skeletons. Yeah, that's probably the Blood Dragons then. Then they split them up so that you know you can have either a Chaos Warrior army or a Beastman army or a Demon army, but not all in the same army. It's like, my dude, it's Chaos. Why is it so organized? Yeah, yeah. It's literally different factions. Now, also, way back when, I think it was in the fourth and fifth edition, even. Again, there was just one on the army list, and then yeah, there. There's another thing with chaos. I'll get back to in a second, but I was saying before the undead army list was also a single army list. Before they split it into vampire counts and forgot the one with the tomb kings and stuff. So I mean, like you could have vampires, you could have mummies, you could have skeletons, the whole shebang. But it was kind of like a messy divorce because, again, if I remember correctly, the vampire counts got the zombies and the tomb kings got the skeletons, which is kind of weird. Like suddenly, like yeah, we can no longer raise skeletons. It's like, why? Did you forget how to raise skeletons? Are you only dealing in wet and dry undead now? It's also kind of weird because the vampire counts got the whites, which are like the extra angry skeletons. So the other thing I was saying that about Chaos Warriors being too organized was the other thing that, especially before the multi-part plastic kits came out, it was like, why do they all look the same? It's like literally, you could have a horde of chaos warriors and they look like they just came out of a factory floor. Hello, we serve the Lords of Entropy and Decay. And yes, we all have to have the only matching uniforms in the entire world. It was a bit better in the, well, kind of better in the first and second edition because the lead miniatures were all individuals. So literally, there weren't two that were the same. But again, I mean, like that kind of thing would have been very expensive to build an army for. By the way, I haven't really followed it up, but I just saw it this morning, so I didn't have time to look into it. But it looks like the Citadel brand name is being retired, so there is no Citadel paints anymore. Now, again, it's not a problem for me because I don't use most of their paints, but I think that they have some of the best shades and washes in the market. So I hope they keep if they keep the quality up on that, they can call it whatever they like. Yes, they'll henceforth be known as Warhammer Color. You know, uh, again, like the brand name does not bother me much. Yeah, like literally, to quote Vinnie Jones in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoke. No, sorry, no, sorry. To quote Vinnie Jones in Snatch, they can call it Susan if it makes them happy. But the one thing that always got me was the naming of the paint. I mean, literally, I can go into any art shop, ask for a tube of Payne's Grey, and they will give me a tube of Payne's Grey, which will always be the same color, regardless of brand or whatever. With Citadel paints or Hammer color or whatever, it was like, yes, I would like some Snotling green. No, we don't call it that anymore. It's sunburned Goblin green now or something like that. Same paint, and again, with the washes, they're super effective, but figuring out what you needed after a couple of years was like, eh. And it's not a Games Workshop thing. I mean, like, I think even Army Painter and others do this a few times every few years, just to keep us on our toes, I guess. Okay, let's see. These are going to go for a dry brush. Probably the case, yeah. In fact, I would be shocked if that was not the case. Okay, let's do this bit first. Do you know what edition these plastic short kings were produced? Uh, I would say. I know that they were in the Battle for Scalpa's box set. So, actually, let me check. Okay, so the Battle for Scalpas was 7th edition, 2026. Ah, sorry, 2006. So yeah, literally 20 years ago. Like those stores that have the clearance sign, everything must go. Yeah, I think that they have enough sales that they don't really need to worry about that, Lisa. The one that my dad gave me had a shield with an anvil on it. Uh, it's probably one, might be one of these. Oops. So this isn't terribly visible yet. Actually, because the anvil is sideways. Is it one of these? And there is another one, it's like the general or something, but I have it on the shelf back there. I believe it's also an anvil on the shield. Okay, let's get the bracelet out of the way. Got his shield informing him like the one you were pointing with the crossed hammers. Alright. See if I can post a picture later with the exact one so see if you can spot the one you're talking about. Too bad his most is. I'm pretty sure they have good dental hygiene. I mean, like, mainly because I hate to think of dwarven dentistry. Now, again, if we're talking about Warhammer Fantasy and especially 40k, I think there are orcs are canonically the best dentists in the game. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, these guys are still looking a bit dark, so I'm touching them up a bit. You know, they haven't really followed any of the more recent Warhammer lore, you know, with the all the novels and the extra novels and the other novels and the novels about the novels and stuff. But I mean, it was such a it's such a rich setting. The old world is still one of my favorites, even after all these years. So here I'm going for the lit areas as I did earlier, but not all the way through. Now, I'll be honest. After I finish these guys, I still have the dwarven, the handgunners to paint. Not particularly looking forward to that because I just find them less interesting. But I left them for last on purpose because if I want to finish these, then I have to finish those as well because I'm not going to base them before I do them all together. So yeah, it's kind of like I'm blackmailing myself. Okay, now Lisa, I remember last time you asked me if I was going to put any washes on the bronze, and I think I won't do that because on the bronze at least because I think the gradients are fine. But for this one, I might do something of the sort because the that gap is a bit big. Or otherwise, I might just come back in and blend them a little. I'll still need to think about it. So, like we said, like washes are a tool you use when you need to. So something that you have you use by default. Let's see. Yes. Okay, there's a bracelet here. I try to force myself to finish projects. Yeah, I mean, the problem is that starting a project is never a problem. Finishing it, especially if it's a long haul project like painting a whole lot of miniatures, then yeah, you need to find some kind of motivation along the way. Uh, I, I admire those people who are like, nope, I'm just going to paint 200 of these things and not do anything else until I finish them. I think it looks great without it, but I'm interested in seeing what a wash would do. I'm kind. I mean, this one I'm not going to touch. This is just. This is exactly where I want it to be. It's more about the gold on. One sec. Okay, so you've got all the stuff here is relatively smooth. You don't have a jarring, excuse me, step between one color and another. Here, you kind of do. You see, you've got that brown yellow going to the brown. There's a kind of a big step there because it's a largish area. So I think a wash might help there. But I'm not going to decide until I see what it looks like with the other highlights on top. So, I mean, the end, you were talking about an escalation league earlier, and yeah, that's a good way of motivating yourself to do stuff, to finish a project. But yeah, I don't think I could stick with that either. I know it's a blasphemy for many gamers, but I absolutely don't mind playing with unpainted miniatures. If I want to play a game with and all I have is unpainted miniatures, I will play with unpainted miniatures. Plus, I think I've mentioned before, I've got this thing where I don't like to paint for the sake of painting. Like, I'm not going to paint stuff just to have stuff that is painted. I'm just want to, if I feel like painting something, I'm going to sit down and painting something. I'll have to catch it in a rewatch, got a bounce to a game. It looks excellent. Oh, thanks, Lisa. And have fun. Bye. Agreed, we'll see how well we can do about keeping up with all that painting. But they said as long as it's primed and one additional color is applied, it will count as painted and you receive points. Yep, all right. Yep, that works. And that's another thing, I guess. It's like how much time you're going to allow yourself to paint the thing. And I use that point specifically because it's about how much time you give yourself rather than how much it takes to paint a mini. You can paint any mini very quickly. It's just how much you want to dig into the detail and stuff like that. That will just keep adding time to the project. Let's see. quite liking the way this is turning out. Okay. So exact same thing with just a little more yellow in the mix. So I'm not sure, is this looking golden? It's definitely looking metally. Hopefully, since the area is always getting smaller, it should go a little bit faster. Of course, it also means that I need to be a bit more careful. I'm just going for a band of brighter metal just at the raised point here. Now that I'm looking at this, what I think I might do is just glaze it very gently with some of the other color instead of going over with a wash and stuff. Even that might be too much, but picked up some brown on there, and while it's still wet, I'm going to try to blend it in. Will it work? I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, seems to have worked. It's a lot smoother. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, not sure if that's golden, but I'm liking the way it's looking. Okay, so next up, yeah, going to drop in some pure white. This is just for the reflections. So yeah, I tend to use this white very sparingly because unless I'm painting glitter, the reflections or stuff like that, or lights or things like object source lighting, I don't really use it much. But just trying to put it down very gently and very carefully. Okay, again, I'm going for the center of that surface, plus a little along the edge. I think this reads as gold well enough. Now, if only the exposure would cooperate. So for the highlight, you can just go in with a white line if you wanted to, but I prefer to pick at it like this whenever possible. Just go with like a lot of tiny strokes. Because then it looks a bit more like brushed or polished metal. And I only do that for the top highlight, not for every single layer under. Okay, battle trombone next. Now, when people do non-metallic gold, sometimes I've seen them do like bands of color or bands of white over the gold surfaces, and I'm not going to do that because I'm not entirely sure how and when to do that. It's definitely one of those skills that I want to learn. But I think we're doing okay even without that. Okay. I should probably have looked into the exposure before I started this. Yeah, well, we'll definitely be posting some photos of this later, so you can actually see what's going on. Now I skipped the two guys with the gold on their axis for now because I wasn't entirely sure what I want to do with those, as in how I want the highlight work. So I'm going to get back to them in a sec. Just after I finish the others. Now to think about it, I want to put white highlights on this guy's beard, so I should probably just do it now while the paint is out. Hey Nick, good to see you. So yeah, right now I'm just putting some highlights on this guy's hair and beard, and then I just need to finish off two other dwarves for today. So Nick, have you suitably celebrated your publishing milestone? Okay, that should be enough. So let's finish off the other two. very carefully. Celebrating by grinding more promotional videos and trying not to cry. Worked on a YouTube short for 2 days and I'd like to have a few more ready before I publish them all at once. Go for it, man. I mean, you'd think that YouTube shorts would be easier to make, but they're not really. They're faster, but I mean, you still have to do all the planning and stuff that you would do for a long form video. Anyway, yeah. Anyone watching this? Nick has just been involved in a project for uh, publishing 60 magic items for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. To be honest, I mean, that is a lie because they work really well for pretty much any gaming system. I mean, they're written for they're labeled, sorry, 5e, they're labeled 5e, but I mean, most of them can work in pretty much anything. Yeah, yeah, that's a good point. Oh, hey, Cross, good to see you. I wish more viewers of anyone's content knew how much really goes into production, especially editing. Yeah, no, you know what? Editing used to be the weirdest part of, sorry, the first weirdest part of producing a video for me is always sound recording because of all the noise that goes around here. So literally record 2 sentences, wait for the car to pass by, wait for the sound to die down, record another couple of sentences, and then just cut out all the bits later in editing. But I was saying, yeah. After that, editing was kind of the most boring bit because I've already know everything I've said, so it's like it's just a case of looking for the spaces and stuff like that and whatever. But what I found really helped was kind of making it into a game, like seeing how many jokes I could fit into a thing, or what kind of funny edits I could put in the thing. That really helped me move it along. But if you want to see what kind of publishing goodness young Nick was getting up to, I just put a video on my channel a few hours ago, so yeah, you can go watch it and get all the information. Okay, so I think I'm going to say that we're set with these for tonight, right? So yeah, I think at least on camera that's looking suitably golden. I'm happy with that. Okay, the tactical trombone is looking okay. This one's the one that I was most worried about because it's got all these weird shaped pieces. Now I'll just need to be very careful when I'm painting the rest of the trombone, not to mess up the gold. But yeah, I think that turned out really well. Why would you use gold paint when you can just spend 1 hour and 56 minutes painting fake gold? Okay, let me just move back to here. I'm a good boy, I swear I have a halo. Look. Yeah, like anyone is going to believe that. Anyway, just going to check the community showcase real quick. And that is currently empty, so we'll just be skipping over that for today. I will be dropping photos of these dwarves later in the Discord so that you guys can see how they turned out. And yeah, actually, at the end, I also will post a picture of the other one and see if that's the one you were talking about, okay? So we'll be back next week with another painting stream, and on the Sunday after that, on the 22nd, I believe. Yeah, 22nd. Eric from Eric's Mini World is also. Yep, that's exactly like that, Russ. Uh, on the 22nd, Eric from Eric's Mini World is coming back for another interview, and he's bringing another friend with him out this time, also called Eric. So that should be fun. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely week. Cross, are you going to be working on your ship today? Because Cross is also building a really awesome ship, and he's showing all the work on his streams later on today. I don't know if he's going to be doing that, but they're worth a watch. Let's see other announcements. No other announcements so far, but yeah, I hope you'll have a lovely week. Good to see you, and catch you next time. Bye.